After finishing with the gray matter of the cerebellum hemisphere and the basal nuclei embedded in the lower part of the white matter of the cerebrum, now we will discuss the white matter. The white matter of each cerebellum hemisphere is internal mass of nervous tissue. Outside, it is covered by a thin layer of gray matter known as the cerebral cortex, and embedded in the lower part of the white matter of each cerebral hemisphere there are basal nuclei. Now, white matter of the cerebral hemisphere are telencephalon. The white matter of right telencephalon is continuous with the white matter of left cerebral hemisphere by corpus callosum. So the corpus callosum connects the white matter of one cerebral hemisphere with the white matter of the opposite cerebral hemisphere. And outside the white matter, each cerebral hemisphere is covered by a layer of gray matter called cerebral cortex. The upper surface of corpus callosum is also covered by a thin layer of gray matter. By a thin layer of gray matter known as the indusium griseum. Which is continuous with the rest of the cerebral cortex. Now the white matter of cerebral hemisphere comprise of nerve fibers, axons of neurons, which nerve fibers myelinated. Myelinated nerve fibers. Number two, these nerve fibers are supported by glial cells. So apart from nerve fibers or axons, there are glial cells also, and there are blood vessels also. Now, if you cut a slice of the cerebrum outside, with naked eye you can see a gray layer, that is gray matter, and inside white matter. This white matter appears white in color with naked eye, white in color due to myelinated nerve fibers. Because the nerve fibers in the white matter, they are covered by myelin sheath. So this myelination gives a white color to the white matter of cerebral hemisphere. Now if we draw a coronal section through the cerebrum. So this is right cerebral hemisphere, and this is left cerebral hemisphere. With gyri and sulci. Then next to it is the midbrain. Pons, medulla oblongata. That is the brain stem. Midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and below it is continued as the spinal cord. So outside a thin layer of gray matter, the cerebral cortex. Now in the middle, I told you there is a corpus callosum, bundle of fibers which connect the right and left cerebral hemisphere. Now this is longitudinal fissure and this is floor of the longitudinal fissure. And here is upper surface of the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is a white matter. Which connect the white matter of right and left cerebral hemisphere. So in the floor of the longitudinal fissure, you can see the upper surface of the corpus callosum, but still it is covered by a thin layer of gray matter. This thin layer of gray matter which cover the upper surface of the corpus callosum in the floor of longitudinal fissure is known as indusium. Griseum thin layer of gray matter covering this white matter called corpus callosum. Then we will draw another section of the cerebral hemisphere. Showing sulci and gyri, and outside thin layer of gray matter, the cerebral cortex. This is the vertical slice or vertical section to the cerebral hemisphere. Lateral view of the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, which is continued as the spinal cord. And behind it is the cerebellum. The frontal pole, temporal pole, occipital pole. Now in the middle is a band of white matter comprising of again the nerve fibers known as the corpus callosum. And other midline structures. And I told you the corpus callosum of one cerebral hemisphere connect the white matter with the white matter of the other cerebral hemisphere. Now, white matter, I told you, comprise of nerve fibers or axons. And these axons in the white matter of cerebrum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord are myelinated. And because of these myelinated nerve fibers, the white matter appears white in color. Now, these nerve fibers we divide into various types. Types of nerve fibers in the white matter. each cerebellum hemisphere, and also brainstem, spinal cord, cerebellum, etc. So we have three types of nerve fibers, that is arcuate fibers, also known as association fibers, nerve fibers. Then number two, commissural fibers. And number three, projection fibers. Three types of fibers. Now the arcuate fibers or the association fibers, these connect the cortical areas of same cerebral hemisphere. Suppose this is a right cerebral hemisphere and this is left cerebral hemisphere. So the cortical areas, they interconnect the cortical areas of gyri of same cerebral hemisphere. So the arcuate fibers, they are ipsilateral. They are confined to one cerebral hemisphere. Ipsilateral. They are confined to one cerebral hemisphere. They do not cross the middle line. Between two cerebral hemispheres. Just like you can see here, this is right cerebral hemisphere, outside gray matter, inside white matter. This is left cerebral hemisphere, outside gray matter, inside white matter, and a bundle of nerve fibers, white matter, connect the white matter of right cerebral hemisphere with the left, known as the corpus callosum. So can you see these arcuate fibers, association fibers? They are confined to the one cerebral hemisphere. They connect the cortical areas of same cerebral hemisphere. They do not cross the midline and connect the cortical areas of one cerebral hemisphere with the other. No, they are confined to their own cerebral hemisphere. So they are ipsilateral and do not cross the midline. These are arcuate fibers or association fiber. Second type of fibers are known as the commissural fibers. These fibers cross the midline. Between two cerebral hemispheres. And connect the cortex of both cerebral hemispheres. with each other. So, for example, the bundle of fibers arise from the cerebral cortex of one cerebral hemisphere. They cross the midline, enter the opposite cerebral hemisphere, and connect the cerebral cortex of the opposite cerebral hemisphere. So you can see the association fibers, they are confined to their own cerebral hemisphere, and these association are arcuate fibers. They do not interconnect the cortices of two cerebral hemispheres. They connect the cortical areas of same cerebral hemisphere, and they are arranged in an arch-shaped manner. This is why they are called arcuate fibers, also known as association fiber. If you compare the arcuate fibers with commissural fibers, what are the commissural fibers? They connect the cerebral cortex of one cerebral hemisphere, cross the midline, enter the opposite cerebral hemisphere, and connect with the cerebral cortex of the opposite cerebral hemisphere. So these are arcuate fibers. And these are commissural fibers. Then third type of fibers, known as the projection fibers. Projection fibers. These fibers connect the cerebral cortex with the diencephalon. And gray matter. Of brainstem. Brainstem and spinal cord. It means after arising from the cerebral cortex of cerebral hemisphere, they leave the cerebral hemisphere, enter the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord. In this way, they connect the cerebral cortex of one cerebral hemisphere with the gray matter of the brainstem and gray matter of the spinal cord. So suppose these fibers arising from the cerebral cortex, they traverse the white matter of cerebral hemisphere, enter the midbrain, and terminate in the midbrain. There are bundles of nerve fibers. I have drawn only one fiber. Then again, nerve fibers arise from the cerebral cortex, traverses through the white matter, passes through the midbrain, enter the pons, and terminate in the pons, connecting the cerebral cortex with the midbrain, connecting the cerebral cortex with pons. Then another bundle of fibers arising from the cerebral cortex, traverses through the white matter of cerebral hemisphere, pass through the midbrain, pass through the pons, enter the medulla oblongata where they terminate at different levels. In other words, they connect the cerebral cortex of cerebral hemisphere with different nuclei of the medulla oblongata. Then again, another bundle of fibers arising from the cerebral cortex traverses through the white matter, passes through the midbrain, passes through the pons, pass through the medulla oblongata, enter the spinal cord, and relay in the spinal cord at different levels. So these are projection fibers. How the projection fibers differentiate from the association and commissural fibers, that is, they arise from the cerebral cortex, passes through the white matter of the cerebral sphere, continue to descend through the midbrain. Some of the fibers terminate in the midbrain. Some of the fibers, they traverses through the midbrain without relay and then terminate in the pons. Some of the fiber arising from the cerebral cortex passes through the midbrain, passes through the pons, into the medulla oblongata where they terminate, and some of these projection fibers arise from the cerebral cortex, leave the white matter, passes as such through the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, enter the spinal cord where they end at different levels. So these projection fibers connect the cerebral cortex with different nuclei in the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord. In this way, these fibers are labeled as the projection fibers. So these are three types of bundle of fibers traversing the white matter of the cerebrum, also white matter of the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord. So the arcuate fibers, they are short and they connect the adjacent cortical areas of same cerebral hemisphere. Do not connect the cortical area of one hemisphere to the other. Therefore, these short fibers known as the arcuate or the suture fiber do not cross the midline, do not interconnect the right and left cerebral hemisphere. Then second variety are the commissural fibers, which can start from the cerebral cortex of one cerebral hemisphere, leave that cerebral hemisphere, pass through the middle brain, enter the white matter of the other cerebral hemisphere, and terminate in the gray matter of the opposite cerebral hemisphere. Therefore, they connect the cerebral cortices of both right and left cerebral hemisphere. These fibers passes through the midline between right and left cerebral hemisphere. These are known as the commissural fibers. Then there are fibers which connect the cerebral cortex with the nuclei in the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord. These are grouped as the projection fibers. So this was just a summary to clear your concept about these three types of fibers which run in bundles, not singly, and they are myelinated, and because of this myelination of these fibers, they are responsible for the white matter. Now, it is not necessary that these fibers of the right cerebral hemisphere should terminate in the right half of the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, spinal cord. Some terminate on the same side and the other cross the midline, they decussate. That you will study later on in detail, the ascending and descending tracts. Some are ipsilateral and some they decussate and contralateral. So this diagram just summarizes the three types of nerve fibers or axons traversing the white matter of brain, brainstem, spinal cord, also diencephalon and cerebellum. Now these, we will discuss these in detail. The arcuate fibers are association fibers. These fibers we divide into two types. Types of arcuate or association fibers. The arcuate or associated fibers, I told you, they connect the cerebral cortex of same cerebral hemisphere. Same cerebral hemisphere. And the commissural fibers connect the cerebral cortex of one cerebellum with the other. So you can see one point is common between the association fibers and projection fibers. That is, they connect the cortices of the same cerebral hemisphere and also both cerebral hemisphere. So they arise from the cerebral cortex and terminate in the cerebral. This is why that the arcuate and association fibers are also known as arcuate and commissural fibers. Are also known as cortico-cortical fibers. Both arcuate fibers and commissural fibers, because they connect the cortices with one another. In case of arcuate fibers, the cortices of same cerebral hemisphere, and in case of commissural fibers, the cerebral cortex of one hemisphere with the other. So because they connect the cortices with one another, the commissural fibers and this is why they are collectively known as the cortico-cortical fibers. Now if you differentiate them from projection fibers, they do not connect the cortex of one hemisphere with the other. The projection fibers are not cortico-cortical. Why? Because they connect the cerebral cortex with midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord. Now, what are the types of association fibers of cortical fibers? Was the coronal section through the brainstem and spinal cord, and this is longitudinal section through the sagittal section through the brainstem and spinal cord, and behind is the cerebellum. Now, types. Number one, short arcuate fibers. Number two, long arcuate or association fibers. These are the two types depending upon the length of this. Now short arcuate fibers, for example, they interconnect the cortical areas of adjacent cerebral cortex, neighboring cerebral cortex of same cerebral hemisphere. These are short arcuate fibers which connect the neighboring cortical areas of adjacent gyri. Of same cerebral sphere. Of same cerebral hemisphere, not both cerebral hemisphere. So the short arcuate fibers, this is one cerebral hemisphere, connect the cortices of adjacent gyri with one another. So they are shorter in length. Now what about the long arcuate fibers? They interconnect the cortices of gyri located at distances because they are association arcuate fibers, so distances of same cerebral hemisphere, not both. These long arcuate fibers, they are divided into subtypes. Number one, uncinate fasciculus. Then second one is superior longitudinal fasciculus. Fasciculus means bundle of nerve fiber or tracts. Superior longitudinal fasciculus. Then number three is inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Then fronto-occipital fasciculus. Fronto-occipital fasciculus. Next is a perpendicular fasciculus. Perpendicular fasciculus. And then is cingulum. So, two major types of arcuate or association fibers are short arcuate fibers, long. The short arcuate fibers are simple, bundle of nerve fibers which connect the cortices of neighboring gyri of same cerebral hemisphere, not both cerebral hemisphere. Then long arcuate fibers, why long fibers? Because they connect the cortical areas located at distances of, again, same cerebral hemisphere, not two cerebral hemisphere, because arcuate fibers do not cross the midline, as I explained here in this diagram. So there are subtypes of long arcuate fibers. Uncinate fasciculus, superior longitudinal, inferior longitudinal, fronto-occipital fasciculus, perpendicular fasciculus, and cingulum. Now you know this is a section to the corpus callosum, a bundle of, again, white matter nerve fibers connect the white matter of right and left cerebellum sphere. And in the external features, already we talk about its different parts. That is the rostrum, genu, trunk or body, and splenium of the corpus callosum. Now this is inside of the white matter of one cerebellum sphere. So you can see the short arcuate fibers connect the cortical areas of adjacent gyri with one another of same cerebellum sphere. Now the long type uncinate fasciculus. It arises, you can see this is the frontal pole, and from frontal pole to the occipital pole, this is inferior or basal surface, which is divided into orbital part and the tentorial part. Already we talk about with these features in the external features. So here on the supralateral surface of the anterior part of the frontal lobe is the Broca's area, motor speech area, area number 44, 45. And so this is, suppose, the orbital part of the inferior surface, and is Broca's area. So the arcuate fasciculus, the uncinate fasciculus, it arises from the Broca's area and the supralateral surface of cerebellum sphere, frontal lobe, and then curve downwards and forwards and connected with the orbital surface and also temporal pole. This is temporal pole of temporal lobe, and this is frontal pole of frontal lobe. So the uncinate fasciculus, bundle of nerve fibers arising from the cortex of motor speech area, Broca's area, which is in this region, on the supralateral surface of the anterior part of the frontal lobe. And these fibers run downwards and then forwards, and some of the fibers are attached to the orbital surface, another to the temporal pole. These bundle of arcuate fibers, long arcuate fibers, is known as the uncinate fasciculus. Uncinate fasciculus. Fasciculus stands for tract. These fibers arise from the Broca's area on the supralateral surface of the anterior part of the frontal lobe. The fibers curve backwards, downwards and forwards. Some fibers are attached to the orbital surface, not shown here, and the other enter the temporal pole. Arch-shaped arrangement of these fibers, and because they interconnect the cortical areas located at distances, this is why this is an example of the long arcuate fibers. And special name is given to it, the uncinate fasciculus. Next is the superior longitudinal fasciculus, located superiorly and running longitudinally, bundle of nerve fibers. These fibers arise from the cerebral cortex of the anterior part of the frontal lobe. Anterior part of the frontal lobe of the cerebellum sphere. These bundle of nerve fibers pass backwards in the cerebral hemisphere, same cerebral hemisphere, and then spread out to enter the occipital lobe, cerebral cortex of the occipital lobe, then curve downwards and forwards to enter the posterior part of the temporal lobe. Superior longitudinal fasciculus. It starts from the cerebral cortex of the anterior part of the frontal lobe. Then the fibers bundle run backwards in the same cerebral hemisphere, reach the occipital lobe and terminate in the gray matter of the occipital lobe, and then curve downwards and forwards to enter the temporal lobe, posterior part of the temporal lobe. Superior longitudinal fasciculus. Long arcuate fibers because they connect the cortices located at distances from each other. Run superior to the corpus callosum and longitudinally. Next is we talk about the insonate process, the insonate fasciculus, superior longitudinal fasciculus. Then inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Bundle of fibers arise from the cortex of the temporal lobe, temporal pole, run backwards, and the fibers spread out into the posterior part of the temporal lobe and occipital lobe. And you can see the fibers of the superior longitudinal fasciculus and inferior longitudinal fasciculus in the occipital region, they interlace with one another. Inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Because these bundle of fibers, they run again longitudinally, just like superior longitudinal fasciculus, from anterior part of the frontal lobe to the occipital and temporal lobe. And these fibers, inferior longitudinal fasciculus, because lie inferiorly and they extend from the cortex of the temporal pole, run backwards and enter the posterior part of the temporal pole and occipital pole. Here the fibers of superior inferior longitudinal fasciculi, they interlace with one another. So this is known as the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Now there is fronto-occipital fasciculus. Look here, the superior longitudinal fasciculus arises from the cortex of the frontal lobe to the occipital. So superior longitudinal fasciculus is also fronto-occipital, but it is not known as a fronto-occipital. To differentiate it from this one, fronto-occipital fasciculus, it is known as the longitudinal fasciculus. Now the fronto-occipital fasciculus again connect the and arise from the cerebral cortex, the frontal lobe, passes backwards and enter the occipital, cerebral cortex, occipital lobe. So both these run parallel to one another. The superior longitudinal fasciculus is located laterally and the fronto-occipital fasciculus run medially. So looking from side, they overlap each other. Now for example, this is superior longitudinal fasciculus running in the white matter from frontal lobe to the occipital lobe, superiorly located, superior longitudinal fasciculus located laterally, and medial to it is the again a longitudinal fasciculus rising from the frontal lobe to the occipital lobe. So to differentiate it from the superior longitudinal fasciculus, it is known as the fronto-occipital fasciculus. So at the same level you can see the superior longitudinal fasciculus laterally and medial longitudinal fasciculus medially. Now suppose this red line will indicate the fronto-occipital fasciculus, which run parallel to the superior longitudinal fasciculus but located medial to it. This was about the fronto-occipital fasciculus. Next is perpendicular fasciculus. Now some of the bundle fibers, they arise from the cerebral cortex of occipital lobe. These fibers are in the occipital lobe, and can you see these fibers, they intersect the superior and inferior longitudinal fasciculi. These green lines, you can see these black and red line are fibers of the superior longitudinal fasciculus, and parallel and medial to it, these red lines indicate the fronto-occipital fasciculus entering the occipital lobe and posterior part of the temporal. At the same time, you can see the inferior longitudinal fasciculus fibers also pass into the occipital lobe. Now, perpendicular to superior longitudinal fasciculus, inferior longitudinal fasciculus running perpendicularly in the occipital lobe, these fibers are known as the perpendicular fasciculus. Because these fibers run perpendicular to the posterior fibers of superior longitudinal fasciculus, fronto-occipital fasciculus, and the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. These running nearly vertically, intermingling and interlacing with the posterior fibers of the superior longitudinal fasciculus, fronto-occipital fasciculus, and inferior longitudinal fasciculus. These fibers belong to perpendicular fasciculus. perpendicular fasciculus. Perpendicular fasciculus. Next there is cingulum, another bundle of long arcuate fibers, cingulum. You know here is the cingulate sulcus, the supraspiral sulcus, etc. You know it. Here is cingulate gyrus. In the cingulate gyrus, there are bundle of fibers which curve around the corpus callosum in the cingulate gyrus. A bundle of long arcuate fibers run through the cingulate gyrus of cerebellum sphere. And then you know here is cingulate gyrus, isthmus, parahippocampal gyrus, uncus. These fibers enter the parahippocampal gyrus. This is cingulate sulcus. On the medial surface, suppose, and between the cingulate sulcus and corpus callosum. This cingulate gyrus, and within the cingulate gyrus again there are bundle of nerve fibers. They start below the rostrum of the corpus callosum in the cingulate gyrus. Then run forwards, upwards, backwards, turn downwards, and then forwards to enter the parahippocampal gyrus, just outside and parallel with the corpus callosum. These bundle of fibers, which is an example of long arcuate fibers running through the cingulate gyrus and entering the parahippocampal gyrus, is also an example of long arcuate fibers known as the cingulum. So in today's lecture, we talk about one type of nerve fibers. So thank you very much.